Hi, my name is Brian, and this is my week 3 discussion. In this discussion, we are asked to describe one ethical and one cultural consideration that relates to the final project case filed. I will begin by explaining the one ethical aspect that should be addressed and follow it up with the cultural examination that should be looked at because I believe it is relevant. First, the ethical consideration. One element that I would consider with the final project case file folder is the way the WHO-2 self-administered assessment showed that the client had a higher rating for getting along with new people. 2 came back moderate, 2 came back as severe, and 1 came back with the answer of extreme or cannot do for making new friends. When considering making a diagnosis, one area of ethical consideration I would make would be in the ACA Code of Ethics E.5, Diagnosis of Mental Disorders, when in subsection E5A it explains, in regards to assessments and diagnosis, that, quote, proper diagnosis counselors take special care to provide proper diagnosis of mental disorder assessment techniques, including personal interviews, used to determine client care. Example, locus of treatment, type of treatment, recommended follow-up, are carefully selected and appropriately used, end quotes. I plan to focus my final project on general anxiety and maybe even panic attacks, and so I want to be careful that I don't just use this one assessment to diagnose the client. Diagnosis, of course, is in the next term. A follow-up assessment based on the initial self-administered assessment may help me to feel more confident in the professional mental health diagnosis while remaining grounded in healthy ethics. 2. Cultural consideration. Following that up, I would also consider the cultural aspect of the client being a mix of African American and Filipino. The client shares in the cultural formulation interview assessment that she has gone to her primary care physician, multiple therapists, and a couple psychiatrists, and she shares that they, quote, have focused on my different symptoms, but I think there is something deeper going on with me, but I don't know that, or don't know what, end quotes. On page 693 of our text, it explains that according to Schroeder, Plata, Fullwood, Price, and Dyer-Sennett in 2013, research outcomes have demonstrated decreased performance among culturally diverse groups on a variety of assessments, resulting in overpathology of symptoms or underdiagnosis of disorders. In this instance, I wonder if the client has not been underdiagnosed due to the assessments not being normed to her culture. I think that understanding how the ethics and culture play out in the realm of ethics helps shape us to be better and more competent counselors. Thank you for taking time to listen to my week 3 discussion.